Hello students, hello hair friends and fam. My name is Paula and I am an instructor at a school in Louisiana, and these videos are, well, today's video especially is going to be tailored to my students. Anybody who might need a little refresher or whoever just needs it. So what we did today was a virgin color application, and I'm going to be going over the steps for them to review and for anybody else to watch. So here's a copy of the hardcover book. My students doesn't use a hard copy, we use a digital copy, but the information is still the same. Now before we start doing hair color, and yes, we're just going to be using cholesterol, but I feel like I need to reiterate safety precautions. You're going to double drape, which means you can put a towel, cape, and another towel. And also what you need to do 24 to 48 hours before you do a color application is a patch test. And how you do the patch test is behind the ear, you clean it real good, and you mix a little bit of the product that you're going to be using, and you just put it right there and you let it sit 24 to 48 hours. Now, if there's any kind of irritation, redness, swelling, blistering, no go. Do not do the service, do not continue, because they're having some sort of allergic reaction. But if you put it on there and nothing happens, you are good to go. Another thing I need to mention is a strand test. Now, sometimes our clients don't remember how far back they did their color, and sometimes you don't know what products you're using. Sometimes they just don't remember. So you need to know if they have any products on their hair that's gonna possibly hinder the color. Another thing is if the hair is compromised and you're not exactly sure that you should be doing a chemical service, which as a student, get your instructor. They will tell you either no go or go. But when you're out on your own in a salon, if you're not sure, you can do that test strand. And not only is the test strand good for checking the integrity of the hair, it is also good to see how that color is going to react on their hair. Is it really going to truly be what they're looking for? So it can save you a lot of time in many different ways. So according to the Milady's steps, they want you to start in the back of the head. So yes, there are some stylists, including myself, that usually starts in front. And one reason for that is, especially for gray coverage, you want that front of the hair with those grays to be saturated as long as possible. But for the sake of not getting things confused, the Milady way is on the back. So the tools I'm using are these alligator clips, and these happen to be from Fremar. I like them, they can hold a lot of hair, and they're very secure. I'm also using a Fremar bowl because I like them, I like the color. So, and just plain cholesterol that I got at Sally's. I don't have any affiliation with Fremar, I just like the products. I am using, the brush I'm using is from Jackman Pro. Yes, I'm an associate with them, but that's not what this is about. I just like to say about the tools that I'm using. So here you have her in her 4 quadrants. And her little pigtails. And go back. And as we know, mannequin heads aren't known for their perfect partings, but we did the best we could, and I think we did all right. Now we're going to turn her. Again, I'm just going to kind of comb the tangles out. I'm not combing the scalp. And then we're going to start at the bottom with our thin sections. And we're going to take the cholesterol. We're going to start about a ½ inch from the scalp. And why we do that is because this is a heat zone. And if we put color there first, you run the risk of getting hot roots. So that's why we start there. And of course, when you're doing this in real life, using real color, you will be using gloves. So you're going to put it on top. You're going to look under it, and as you can see, there is not a lot of saturation underneath. So you're going to go on the bottom. Thorough saturation. Now, here's an important part. Sorry, I'm knocking this. You're going to take the tail of your brush. You're going to place it close to where you started. You're going to lift it, and you're going to make sure that it has some lift. In real life, if you see a spot that needs it, go ahead. But you're going to need to see the separation. All right, let's go for a side view. Do my thin, clean sections. All right. Now hold it out. It's going to go about a 1/2 inch from the root. Gonna saturate and lift it up. Make sure I got saturation on the bottom. Now here's another little tip. So once you get it on there, just kind of pat it on there, because if you're swiping, look at that. You have all that there, but you swipe the color off the ends. So place it on there. All right. So this is where we take the tail of our brush. You see, put it about right there. See how I bend it? And you can see the sections. And that's what State Board is going to look for. The separation. They want to be able to get this out of the way. See it. All right, and we're going to do another one. Thin, clean sections. Hold it out. I'm gonna just kind of lay it on there. Don't want to wipe the color off. And underneath. Make sure full saturation. Start bending it. Lay it on there. Let that bend. And there you go. You can see the separation. And also what it does, it allows the air to get in between when you have actual color in there to help it process. So again, just lay it on there. Lift it. Cholesterol so sticky. And let it live there. All right. So in real time, there are thin sections. Clean partings. Take it. Pat it on there. Lift it up. Make sure we saturate the bottom. lift and set. And there you go. So another reason why the thinking is to start at the back, and I would say probably, especially if you're going lighter, the back of the hair is usually the most resistant because it doesn't get as much attention. The sun isn't reaching back here, typically not getting as much hot tools back here. So it's probably a little bit healthier, or at least a little bit more stubborn than the rest of the hair because it's not as damaged. So starting in the back lets the color sit on there longer and possibly work better. But that's just going to be personal preference. If you're working proficiently enough and when you got your time down, and there you are, another side view. You can see the spacing. And that's what they're going to be looking for at state board. And that's what you should be looking for in real life because, again, you want that airflow through there to help this process. All right, now we're going to speed this up. Speed it up a lot. So here we go. Okay, that is the first step of a virgin application. And virgin hair is the hair, it's hair that has never had a chemical treatment on it. Now, could she have had a chemical treatment on it and then got it all cut off? Yes. Virgin application, virgin hair is the hair that has not had a chemical touch it. As I said, this is the first part of the application. There is a part 2. And what happens next is once you've done all the quadrants on the hair, when you've done both panels on the back, both panels in the front, when you are all done with that, all right, then you're going to go back and do the roots. So I go back and do the roots from the bottom up. So I'm going to clip this out of the way. And just the part that doesn't have color on it, you guessed it, I'm going to put color on the roots, the same, on top and on bottom. And again, oh, there goes me shaking the camera again. Sorry about that. I'm going to make it stand up. All right. On my other little subsection here. And I'm going to, oh, there goes my comb, state board, right students? And again, do the roots to the scalp. All right. And you can make a little curl like that, if that helps. Now remember, this is just practice with cholesterol. If you're using regular color, yes, you will be using gloves. Yes, you will be double draped. You'll have done your preliminary patch test. You'll have done your strand test. And again, why we do the strand test is because sometimes our clients don't exactly know when the last time they colored their hair, what products they're using on their hair that might inhibit hair color from penetrating the hair shaft. So strand test is gonna tell us everything is going to spill the tea, as they say, of their hair. So yes, it's getting a little smashed up here, but you know what? I'm still taking my thin sections. I'm still doing it the same. Missed a spot back there. I mean, while we're practicing, we might as well practice full saturation on all this. Again, I'm gonna make a little curl right there so it'll sit. And let's take a look at it from the side. All right, see how I like propped it up there? Made that little curl. Just a little bend, I guess, to see those sections. All right, so I'm gonna find my little subsection the best I can. As long as it's still that 1/4 inch, I'm gonna be okay. Again, to the root, don't forget the sides. They need hair color too. Just make sure you can still see the subsections, and that's just good practice for when you take your state board. So, take it, make a little bend, let it kind of sit there, and then you can really see it. Now when we get into how we do with real color, again, wearing gloves and all this other stuff, we will talk more in detail about how we got to get around the hairline. And that's usually what we do first with real life color application. But again, this is just practice. This is just to get you in practice of those clean sections and getting it where state board will be able to see your sections. So for state board, yes, you only have to do a root touch up, and that's going to be on the top panel, and we will go over that when we go over that in class. But they still want to see those clean sections. They still want to be able to see where it's separated. And beyond state board, this is just good habits to build. This is just going to give you full coverage of your color, and it's going to allow it to process nicely because you're able to have that airflow. So here you have it, one of the quadrants. And again, you'll be able to see that separation. When you do state board, that's exactly what they're going to be looking for. Now at state board, like I said, you'll just be doing a retouch, and it's just going to be on the top panel. But this is excellent practice to get into making those clean sections. Excellent practice for when you're doing real application of color on a client. So cholesterol is a little messy, as we had fun discovering that today, but this is your basic application. And if you have any questions for my students, have any questions, you can ask me tomorrow, you can comment, you know how to get a hold of me. And I hope this was of some value, and I will be talking to you later. Bye. All right, here you go. Virgin hair color application on short hair. It's just a tiny bit different when it's longer hair, because you got to compensate for possibly damaged ends. And maybe not even damaged, they just have a little bit wear and tear on them. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, this video in particular is tailored to my students of what they have done during the day in class for their practical. So yeah, I'm not wearing gloves because it's not real color. Will they be using real gloves? Will they be using gloves when they're applying real color? Absolutely. Will their client be double draped with 2 towels and a cape? Absolutely. But again, this is just for practice. They're using cholesterol. And so again, if it's real life, patch test, strand test, double drape, and have fun with it. And just a little shout out to my students that encouraged me to do these YouTube videos. I know you guys were wanting videos to practice at home, to watch at home, to really hone in on what you've been learning in class. But when I said, oh, I guess I could make a YouTube channel, and everybody hopped on like, yes, you need to do that. I just want you to know that I so appreciate it. And I encourage you guys to always stretch your boundaries and do everything you can in this industry, my favorite industry, the beauty industry. And thank you for encouraging me to push my own boundaries. And I know it's going to take some practice getting these videos correct and getting my verbiage right and make sure I'm getting everything, but what do we say? Direction, not perfection. And anyway, thank you guys so much. And I will see you in class. Bye.